And we're recording. So we're back, guys. So we had a little technical difficulty. I don't know if I'll edit this part or part two, but talking to Chris, who I did time with at Florence Federal Prison Camp, but he was at another camp before that, and then he was at a detention center, and he was shackled and con-aired and everything, and he came from New Zealand. And Chris, you want to start where you left off? You were at the what's it called? MC what now?
Metropolitan Detention Center, Los Angeles, MDC.
Okay.
Every major city has a detention center, and the politics behind all that is really interesting. Like the Metropolitan Detention Center is owned by the Bush family.
Oh, the George Bush, yeah.
George W. Countryman, owned by the Bush family, but a lot of the private facilities were all tied in one way or another. But long and short was, they offered me a deal at 56 months, and then 56. Then they came back with 54, and this was in the 9th month. By that time, I had told my public defender, forget it, I'm done. Just get me the best you can. We need to get the hell out of here before I go crazy in this place.
Yeah, because you've already been there. Yeah,
9 months.
Yeah, so at this point, you're just give me something, get me out of here, right?
That's right, because it was going to come down to two things: either I was going to get killed, or I was going to go stock raving mad, and I'm being serious as hell. I had 17 cellmates in the 9 months I was there. 17. Out of the 17, 3 of them were straight, 2 of them were black. The rest of them were variations of the LGBT movement.
Yeah, ABC.
Why was that the case? Yeah, all the alphabet. Why that was the case was because they felt I was elderly, a little older, and that I wouldn't hurt anybody. I mean, I had some off-the-wall goofy ones. Okay, some strange individuals in that room with me. And that room is small. We're talking 6x8 tops, which really breaks out to 6x7. 2 bunks, a toilet, sink combination. You're sitting there while that guy's taking a shit, you're smelling it. And your head's 10 feet, not even 10 feet away from it. So it's very nasty in that respect. It's not a good place to spend time. You want to get out of there as fast as you can. Mind yourself, there are some people who enjoy that. I'm not one of them. So yeah, I accepted the deal at 50.
I'm not one either.
Not one of them either. I accepted the deal at 54 months. Went to sentencing, and the judge slapped a 2-point enhancement on me because I was in foreign soil.
Oh no. I've heard that 2-point enhancement. You hear that all the time in the federal system. Sometimes it's a gun enhancement, but in your case, that 2-point enhancement. That's just
it's the language they use. You have to admit to everything, and the language they use to do it is designed to make you look like the scum of the earth. For example, in New Zealand and in England and most of the Commonwealth countries, the word scheme is what they use to describe business. Oh, you're in the insurance scheme. Yeah. Oh, you're in the insurance business. It's respectable. In the United States, the word scheme means that you're a con man. You're a ripoff.
You hear scheme, you think scam.
That's right. So they use this language throughout the thing, and you have to admit to all that in a courtroom, in front of a judge, in front of whomever's there. Now, the thing that people don't understand about enhancements is enhancements can be all kinds of things. And Sean, I have to apologize. In beautiful Southern California, it's starting to rain. I had to move inside.
Yeah.
So I'm in my car because I was at a park. So I apologize for that, but we'll carry on. So you get these enhancements that can come from anything. I mean, I've seen people done time with people. You have too. We were together talking with a guy one time. He got a 3-point enhancement for having a weapon in his home in the top of his closet, and he was downtown in a pub.
Yeah, miles away from the gun, nothing to do with the crime that they wanted to get him on. Yeah, I get it.
So I'm going to address a couple of those things in just a moment, but the point was I accepted the deal, got in the courtroom, the judge slapped a 2-point enhancement upon me, and that got me to 70 months. I about dropped right in the spot. I said, what?
Yeah.
And then my attorney jumped in immediately with, we object to that. That's not the deal we cut, yada, yada. So what I'm saying to you is it's not always going to be what you think it's going to be. the deal that you make with the U.S. Attorney's Office is with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and they go through great lengths to make sure you understand that that deal could change. They can't direct the judge on what he thinks.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, yeah, if you guys went through the process, then it's going to be. It's not.
Yeah, unlike a state court, the judge usually, whatever the number the district attorney comes up with, the judge usually agrees. In the federal system, the judge can surprise you. He can go high, he can go low. He can, yeah, you're right there. The judges actually have a say.
They call it an upward departure or a downward departure.
Yeah.
In my case, he went up. We could have objected, but the problem being is that if we objected to that sentencing of 70 months, I run the risk of going back to court over that, and he could raise it. He could go upward again.
And now you've pissed them off. And when you piss them off, they're not happy.
Oh, you piss them off, you're donkey meat. You're hammered. That's all there is. You're done. You might as well just throw the key away. You're going to be there for 10 years.
And even if you take it to trial and you win your case, like I've told people before, okay, enjoy your little freedom for about a year when they come back at you with all those other charges now. They're going to get you, you know?
Yep, that's true. But in my case, I had a little bit of an advantage. In my case, the prime minister of the country, and it's a sovereign country, the prime minister of the country listened to what I had to say along with my attorney, and he was a drinking buddy. And I said, look, I'll go ahead and give in to all this right now, save everybody a whole lot of trouble, including my kids, and just get it over with. Because I was thinking I was going to get like 18 months.
Yeah, well, we all think that. We all want probation. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, what I did wasn't wrong, but it wasn't right. You know, it was one of those gray area things, and I guess I just lost in the gray area mass. I'm not saying I was right, but I wasn't as wrong as the guy that just got caught over here with 2 pounds of heroin.
Right. Yeah. These are the cards.
So financial crimes.
Yeah.
Financial crimes, you get yourself slammed harder. And if you are older and you are white and you are educated and you were successful on the outside, you are not liked.
You are not liked. You are correct. You are not liked.
You are going to have a hard time all the way through. It's how you handle that hard time. And by me telling you this now, believe me or not, I don't care. That little dude that you were talking about that wants to run to Mexico, good goddamn luck, fool. Go turn yourself in right now, plead guilty, save them all the trouble in the world, get your 24 months, go serve 16 of the 24 and get the hell out and rebuild your life. You're young enough to where your name will be down on page 3 of an internet search and you'll still be able to have a life.
See, that's
don't
good advice.
Don't screw it up any further by running.
Yeah.
Just don't screw it up because they will come for you, Mexico or not.
Yeah.
And the thing you got to remember, when you're in a foreign country, if you run to that country and you think you're going to take refuge there, you better remember that they will come for you. And when they do, you're going to be in custody in that country for up to 45 days, according to the law, SP 331, that says they have up to 45 days to come get you. That means you got 45 days in that country's
in a Mexican jail. Yeah.
And good blasted luck with that. But reality, I got 70-month sentence. I got 3 years probation, and they want me to pay back $3.1 million. Well, kind of hard to pay back $3.1 million when they got it all anyway.
When they got it all, yeah. I have 1.7 to pay back. They want $100 a month for the rest of my life, and that's fine. I'll take it. You know. How about you?
That's exactly what's going on. I am a nice, elderly, dead broke, retired gentleman who ain't got a damn pot to piss in because I went from $3 to $5 million a year for 20 years to nothing.
Yeah.
My victim list is damn near zeroed because I paid my dividends to my clients. But regardless, I did it. It's there. I took a risk. I got caught. Okay, end of story.
Yeah, these are the cards we were dealt, man. So all you can do is, and you've always been a real strong character. You know, I've always had respect for you because like I said earlier to you, you've never given up. You've never given up. As old as you are, getting out of prison, and now you're working. Look, you saved up from working to buy a car. Nothing nice, just a regular car. you're doing this thing, at your age, and you didn't give up, and you got through this, and you helped me a lot in prison getting through all this stuff. You were there when my father died, people,
Yep,
and you
I
really helped me
remember.
with that. And you know what? And I want to tell the guys out there, I don't know if you could do this in a penitentiary, but in a camp, like my father died, it was okay to cry. People understood. And I didn't just bawl in front of anybody like that, but I mean, it's okay to do that in a camp. I don't know about a
You go to
penitentiary.
your you go to your cube, bury your head, and you get it out of your system.
Yeah.
And then you find one good person, maybe two, that you can talk with that aren't going to belittle you for showing emotion. And then you get through it. But
Yeah.
I thank you for all those kind words, Sean. But you're a fellow that deserved to have a little bit more attention because you were one of the people who are going to make it on the outside. You're not going to say it, and then 10 minutes later you're back to drinking and drugging and screwing up and going to come back in and blow off your year of free time. So you're a good guy. But jumping back to this thing real quick, I got my sentencing. I spent another 28 days at MDC. They transferred me to Taft. And Taft was notoriously known for having the older gentlemen in the penal system, all white collar, normally speaking,
Right.
lightweight drug traffickers, that type of thing.
And,
Mules,
and
nothing serious.
Taft is a private prison, right?
Taft was a private prison out by Bakersfield. Very low key, cool as hell. I was so pleased when I got there because it was like, wow, I'm going to be here. Okay, I can handle this. You can the the warden of the prison on our intake day, he sat us down. There was like 23 of us that came in. He sat us down in a little pavilion area, and he says, "Okay," he says, "here's how it goes." He said, "These are the rules." And they all handed us a bunch of booklets and stuff. They said, "You're going to be expected to know those." And he said, "And then please," he says, "here's my rule. If you don't like it here and you want to leave and you want to escape, by all means, go ahead. Tell me, and I'll get you a cab.
Yeah.
Don't run across that desert, get snake bit. We got to find you and you're dead." He said, "That puts liability on us, and we can't handle that. So if you want to leave, I'll buy you a cab." He actually told us that. So that kind of set the mood as being, kind of a little bit more lighthearted. The guards are all private security, hired and contracted to the Fed, so they have federal authority. They found that, when they finally got into my medical records after I was there for 6 months, that I had COPD and sleep apnea. And so they decided to move me because Taft has valley fever, which is that spores in the dirt that attack your respiratory system.
Right.
If your respiratory system is already damaged, you're going to die from it.
Also,
it's like having.
I was gonna say, also, there's no RDAP at Taft either, right?
There was no RDAP. The closest RDAP would have been Washington. So they transferred me to Florence.
And that's when I met you.
That's when I met you, Sean. On my first day in, I thought it was pretty cool walking in and say, "Hey, dude, how you doing? Where are you going? Are you going to Teller Unit or Summit?" "I'm going to Teller." "Hey, man, if you need anything," and then you come to find out later that everything does, in fact, have a price.
Yeah, comes with a price.
It does. Now, Sean, if you'll remember, I have a little bit of a medical background as well. I used to do some adjustments on people and whatnot, and they were always offering to pay, and I don't know if you remember or not, I would refuse to pay or refuse to accept payment.
That's right. We had these chiropractors there, and they were charging, and you were not charging, and there was a little rivalry thing going. I remember you're taking away their business, and do you remember that?
The bottom line was, yeah, I do, and the bottom line by not charging was that I didn't get stuck in the hole, and I didn't get any good time taken away.
That's right. Yeah.
Because it's illegal to charge for food, services, anything. You can't charge anybody for anything.
Yeah, you can't even give an inmate any of your property. Technically, illegally, you're not supposed to share. You can't even give them a spoonful of coffee. Really, but they let that go.
Yeah, they make little adjustments, but the long and short is that I walked into into Florence, and that's where I spent the remaining time. So that's where I met you, and we carried on.
The first time I had a conversation with you, Chris, we were in line for chow, and you told me, I'm not here to make friends. This is the last place I'm going to make friends with here. I don't care about getting to know anybody while I'm here. What you know what I mean? When I'm out of here, I don't want to talk to anybody. And that's when I knew. I said, you know what? This guy's going to end up being my friend, and we'll probably talk when we get out. And here we go. And I didn't want to tell you that at the time.
No, it's okay, Sean, because truthfully, you're the only guy out of the 600-700 people that were there. You're the only guy I talked to, and I will not engage the other people because they don't have a success mindset. So now, you guys that are on pretrial, I want to make sure that we understand each other here. Don't fight it. If you fight it, I guarantee you, a 96 to 98% conviction ratio. You're not going to win. Take the money that you would spend on that attorney and leave it for your family. And I'm going to address that in a minute too.
Yeah, that's
good advice. Leave it for your wife and kids to use because you can't use it. Secondly, if you fight it and you lose, you will get twice the amount of time that you would have gotten normally. So if you were looking at a 5-year smack, the judge is going to hit you up for 10. I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, every time.
Everybody I talk to.
Every time.
Everyone I talk to. Double sentence. And you know that as well. So just sit there and say as cooperative as can. Look, I'd like to say nolo contendere, which means I'm not going to say I did or I didn't, but just say I did. Get me the best deal you can, and let's go from there. Try to get an idea of what other people that committed a similar crime, got in time so that you're not biting the bullet. And just do it. Dude, that you're thinking to go into Mexico, we'll see you in 10 freaking years.
Yeah.
Now, the other stuff that goes along with all these things, Florence wasn't bad, but it's not a cakewalk because there's other stuff in there that hits you. You're fairly safe. No one's going to beat the shit out of you unless you're an idiot and you offend somebody or you're rude.
Or a gambling debts, maybe, that kind of thing.
Yep. If you gamble, you do drugs, you smoke, you can get in debt with people because they got better drugs in the jail than we have on the street. It's true.
Yeah.
You'll pay for it. You'll pay dearly and you'll get in debt. I mean, I watched a guy get his ass beat to a pulp in the bathroom over gambling and cigarette debts.
Yeah, they pull you in the bathroom.
Skinny dude.
Yeah. They pull you in the bathroom, they put socks over their wrists so there's no marks, and 3 or 4 of them will go at you. I've seen it done. I've seen it done.
Oh, you can guarantee it. As far as politics inside most prison camps, there is some politics, but it's not politics that you would necessarily deal with. Like, you do have the Mexicans, the Mexican groups, they will be polite to you and nice to you, but they're thinking that this is their gig. You see a lot of young Mexican guys straight out of Mexico that don't speak good English. You have Nortinos, you have Sureños, you have, oh my God, you got all kinds of them. The Southsiders, everything. You have Texas Mafia, you have Tex-Mexes.
Yeah,
the hardest.
A lot of Texas come to Colorado, yeah.
Yep. So you have a lot of different groups. You have blacks that don't really. You'll find that Bloods and Crips will gang together because they're a minority. White boys are way a minority.
Yeah. There's not
Asians
a lot of white
boys. Way a minority.
The white collar criminals, I'm going to say maybe there was 25%. I don't know. What do you think?
Tops, probably more like 15.
Yeah.
I would, I can go with 25, Sean, but the thing is you go there, you do your time, you get a decent job. Sean and I both worked together in a program
at the Supermax,
preparing lunches.
Yeah, the culinary school.
Yeah, we
culinary
were both there at. Yep, and we prepared the meals for the guards for lunch meal.
Yeah,
and we prepared a lot of meals for ourselves.
Yes, we did. This guy was a gourmet chef. Oh, I enjoyed your sauteed dishes, and I had a lot of fun at that culinary school there. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, they used to give you so much trouble over using basil and oregano because you're not using cumin and chili powder. In other words, you weren't cooking Hispanic food; you were cooking Italian. And your sauce, you remember that one sauce you made? I stole about a quart of that.
That
That was
spaghetti
good. I took
sauce.
it back. I had it for about 3 days.
We ate pretty good
Yeah.
over there. We ate really good at that place. Yeah, really good. You know.
So the thing you guys want to remember is that you want to remember to get a good job, and food is a good job because you always will eat. Now, you're not supposed to bring stuff back to your room. That's a clear size. But the reality is that you will probably bring something back. Just don't be stupid and get involved in the kitchen theft game, because then you go to the hole and the hole's no fun.
Yeah.
The hole is just a single cell concrete bed, yada, yada. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be brash and cold blooded and act like a know it all, because if you do, someone's going to put your lights out. Now, the things that you will find that are going to be penetrating you when you're in a camp, and anybody with custody points lower than 11 or lower is going to a camp, period.
Right.
If you have RDAP recommended, you're going to go to either Washington State or you're going to go to Colorado.
Or Sheridan,
One or the
Oregon.
other.
Sheridan, I think. Sheridan, Oregon.
Sheridan, not Washington State. Sheridan, Oregon. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean. You're right. That's it. That's all there's left. Sean, at one point, can share my RDAP experience, or we might get to it here. But the thing to remember is that you don't want to spend a lot of money on commissary, because commissary is a ripoff. And for example, the guard that runs commissary, the commissary dollars pay his salary too.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Why are you going to participate in something that pays for the guy to watch you? So get a good job, keep your nose clean, follow the rules, try not to irritate too many people. Have your mindset that there's going to be times, especially holidays, when you become very lonely. You're going to be tempted to do ignorant stuff. Don't. Why would you give up your good time days for a violation? I will tell you this right now, in all honesty, because I had to find out the hard way. And Sean, you found out towards the end when you got out. I found out while I was in. I still had 12 months to do. You will find out who your friends and your family really are.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that.
You'll find out
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about with your wife, but
okay.
A lot of guys,
In the time that I was in custody,
a lot of guys lose their wives while they're in there, especially if they have a 5-year sentence or more. I mean, I'm telling you, you're gonna get a Dear John letter. You're gonna get served divorce papers. She's gonna find somebody else, and they don't mean to. It happens, and sometimes you've let your family down. In their mind, you have let them down. You did this to them. You know what I mean? Chris, I don't know if you want to talk about what happened with you.
Basically, I can do it very quickly. Basically, what Sean just said is true. They justify it in their own minds. They don't look at right or wrong. They justify it in their minds as being, you took yourself away from us, and look at the position you put me in. My wife was a trophy woman. She never had to work. She never had to want for anything. She could walk in a store and spend money and not worry about paying a bill later. You know, if the power was going to be on or not. She was well taken care of. My kids were fine. I have a boy and a girl, 23 and 21, and a granddaughter, it's 3. My wife talked to me while I was MDC, but the whole time and before I was in MDC, she'd taken up with a guy. And that's when they extradited me. She took up with a guy in the States, came back, and she ended up getting pregnant while I was at MDC. On the day or two before I was sentenced, she gave birth. They transferred me to Taft. We talked for about a week. After that, she stopped talking with me, and when I got transferred to Florence, she sent me an email telling me, quote unquote, "Fuck you, fuck off. I don't ever want to hear from you again." And that's how it ended. A year later, I filed for divorce on her from Florence to California. So we have divorced. So I lost my business. I had a 46,000 square foot.
I was just gonna say,
square foot office.
All gone, house gone. You've had some hard. You've had
Business
nothing
is
but
gone. I
hardships.
had 2 years.
Yes,
I
stripped
had
it.
2 years on the mortgage of the bank. That's gone. All my property in New Zealand's gone. Property in America is gone. I came out. I didn't even have money for commissary. Then towards the last 6 months, my daughter finally was able to get work, and she started sending me money. And I told her never send more than $40 a month, because if she does, they're going to take it. And I didn't need more than that. So you'll find out who your friends and family are. None of my friends want anything to do with it. They don't want their name associated with my name.
Yeah,
Like anybody cares.
That's happened to me
The problem when
too.
you're a little older is you worry about. Yep, same thing. I remember. Same thing, but Sean, yours happened just before you released. You know, your father's family decided they didn't want to have anything to do with you after your father passed.
No, that was my mother's
and
mother's
now you're
side.
Trying to build those.
Yeah, my mother's side doesn't.
Your mother's side.
My father's side's actually talking to me, and
you're trying to rebuild those bridges.
Yeah, the mother's side wants nothing to do with me. Even people on Facebook when I got out, or high school, all the friends I thought I had, I'm cursed. You know what I mean? Employers, I mean, your coworkers, people you associated with, you're a criminal. They don't want nothing to do with you. You're a con artist. You're a disgrace to them.
Oh, you're the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
You're the scum of the earth. So I got out of Florence, and remember, while you're in there, while you're in custody, guys, it's the letting your mind work against you and being weak in the head. Start planning a goal of what you want when you get out. I have reached all the goals I set for myself when I released in March of last year. Now, I'll be 71 years old in March of this year. I said I will have a job. I said I will have a car. I will have a place to live. I will have some money in my pocket, and I will be working toward a career that I can do for the next 10 years and save enough money so I can retire comfortably instead of this welfare check shit, that goes on once you can't get any work. I have bought a 2017 Ford Fusion Hybrid. It's a beautiful little car. I was able to get it financed. I was able to get Department of Rehabilitation to pay for truck driving school, which I'll graduate in March as well. And then I'll get a decent job instead of the $13 an hour job I'm going to get. So guys, you're going to be working for under 15 bucks an hour for the next 2 or 3 years. I guarantee you. Once you get out, it's going to take you a little bit of time. But remember, you set your goals, you keep your goal. Nobody stops you from getting where you need to be. I'm telling you now, straight dead bang up front, no ifs, ands, or buts. Y'all going to get banged in the butt. And you're going to either smile or you're going to rebuild your life, and you're going to do it. And Sean's been doing real good. I was kind of concerned about him when he left because he's a little bit squishy there for a while, but he tightened up.
Yeah.
I was concerned about whether I'd have enough strength to do it, but you can do this.
I didn't see the pandemic happening because I had my plan to get out, and I got that job at that drug rehab, and it was 19 bucks an hour, and I was cooking.
Yep.
And I saved up. I bought a little car, and everything was going good. And now now you're all on lockdown.
Yep. What you guys may not know about Sean is Sean's actually a certified chef, and he enjoys his food work. He's good at it, and he did get himself squared away there for a while. He was doing pretty good. It was about $20 an hour job.
19 bucks an hour, and they were gonna make me the
19 bucks an hour.
I was gonna get the sous chef job this year. Was supposed to get that, but now the place had to close down, or they're shut down. They're on minimum staff right now. Anyways, like everybody else. So, but I'll find something. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I got the unemployment kicking in right now.
Never give up. Always look forward.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve,
so going back over.
Tonight being Christmas Eve, I wanted to talk just real quickly about the holiday meals. So I told people in the video, you get a turkey and you get ham on Christmas, and I used to always trade my ham with Chris here, and he would give me his turkey. So you remember that? So tonight,
Well,
I'll trade you my ham tonight. No, it's Christmas Eve, but what do you think about the meals that they give the inmates for the holidays?
well, I'll tell you, when I was there, the meals were basically, scary. In respect that a lot of the food they buy is discount purchase. Like I would unpackage food myself in the kitchen. As you know, I worked there for over a year. Some of the stuff would come in, it would say not fit for human consumption on the labeling.
Yeah,
A
you get
lot of the
that.
stuff we get would be, yep, we get, you remember we get McDonald's breakfast patties
Oh
and
yeah,
McDonald's breakfast sandwiches and whatnot.
Starbucks breakfast
Every once in a while
sandwiches.
they have Starbucks, yeah, they would donate it. But for the most part, you're getting government issue. It's not going to kill you. It's all going to be very high in calorie count, very high in carbs, fatty food. You're not going to enjoy the beef because it's going to be either cooked to the shit or it's going to be shredded and taste like doggy poo poo.
Yeah,
But for the most part, you're not going to starve. You will not starve. When you're in custody, do what I did and a few thousand other people. I came out of custody, releasing to my halfway house. I was in the best physical shape of my entire life, including high school football and wrestling.
and you're how old?
Right now, I'm 70.
You hear that,
I was in the
guys?
best shape. Still am. Take advantage of the opportunity to build yourself. Mind, body, soul. Be strong, be hard, make it happen. Look at other people, be kind, be generous, but keep your goals in mind. No one is going to look out for you but you. Promise you that. Promise you with all my heart.
That's good advice.
Stay
That's good advice.
with or talk with the people who are kind to you and you're kind back, and you're going to be successful. Last week, I shared with Sean, two black ladies that paid for my groceries for no reason. I left my wallet in the car. I went back to go get it. I came back, and this is in a Ralph's Market. I came back. It says $63 for the groceries, and these two black ladies in their mid-40s said, "Sir, you don't have to do that. We already took care of it." I go,
Wow.
"What?"
So there's hope for there's still hope for man. There's still hope for the world. Then you know what I mean?
In Los Angeles, in a racially challenged community like this.
Yeah.
And by the way, fellas, when I went to my halfway house, they took this nice elderly white-haired, pale-skinned gentleman and stuck him in the middle dead bang center of Watts, California.
That's right.
I had Bloods on one side, Crips on the other side, Southsiders below me, and the Aryan people above me. Couldn't breathe. I was in halfway house with murderers, drug dealers, people who committed major assaults. You name the crime, and it's all mixed population.
Yeah.
State and federal.
And
You
fed.
learn to get along quickly.
That's what happens at that halfway house. Camp time's over.
And guarantee yourself, fellas, the halfway house is not there to help you. I've had to fight for everything. It took me 3.5 months to get my driver's license. And the only reason I got it, quite honestly, was I charmed, rather effectively, I charmed one of the clerks at the DMV, and she felt sorry for me. That and the fact that COVID-19 has overwhelmed them. If your driver's license expired within 12 years of its date, they'll give you another one. I got lucky, in other words. So everything that you do is going to be a fight, but remember, you have a goal. I'm working for $13 an hour, $467 a week. I can't afford to live by myself, so I'm living in a sober facility house and maintaining my sobriety, et cetera, and I'm able to be out and about and experiencing life as a free man to a degree. And you look for careers that will accept a felon. Truck driver.
I lost you.
Sorry, Sean, we got disconnected. We're back.
Yeah.
So
your phone probably
carry forward. Sean, you got anything?
Your phone
questions, and I know we've been on a while.
Yeah. I think your phone, after so long on it, the signal it fights for the it just happens on Zoom on your phones. They don't last that long. Are you there?
Well, if you had questions or if I haven't covered anything, if there's something more you want me to say, that's pretty much my nutshell. But that boy who's thinking about running to Mexico, don't do it. Take the best deal you can get for them, button up, hard the time out, start your life again. I always tell people the same thing. You're young enough to where you can survive an internet history search. In 10 years, your name won't even be on page 10.
Yeah.
I'm not. My name comes up right now. So you have life after internet, trust me. You can make it. Just quit being a coward and push through it. Sean,
Well,
you got anything else?
no, I was going to ask you if you had a message for people, but that's what you've been doing there. So no, I really want to thank you for this interview, Chris. You're one of the, like I said, you're one of the guys I respect. You've been strong you've been strong when I knew you in Florence in the prison, and you got out and you landed with your, how they say, land with your feet running. How's that term? You know what I mean?
Hit the ground running.
Hit the ground running, and you did that, and you made a plan to get out, and I'm privileged to know you and watch, especially at your age. You give me hope. I'm right behind you. I'm only 56, but you're doing it at your age, and you haven't given up. You're still going to have a life. You know what I mean? And my always videos is, if you're facing prison time and you're a white collar, if you're looking at camp or a low time, you're going to get through this. You're going to have a life after. You're even going to have a life on the inside. It's not the one anybody wants, but you'll get through that, and you'll make it, and you can turn your life around. But it starts right now. It starts right now. You start turning your life around
It
before you go
truly
to
does.
prison. Before you go to prison,
It
and
truly
hopefully people out there are just watching this out of curiosity, because I don't want anybody to ever go to prison. But maybe you can hear some of the mistakes we made, and you work at a company that something's a little here. You get out of that company. It's not worth it. You don't want. You know what I mean? It's not worth it to break the law.
Well, the justice system, for those of you who are concerned, the justice system changed drastically in 1975, 76. Prior to that, you were innocent until proven guilty. Not anymore.
No.
1976, the justice system turned around. Very, very under the wire type thing. It is, you are guilty until proven innocent. No, you are guilty. Period. You're not going to escape it. You're not going to get away with it, because they have more attorneys, they have all the money, and they have the courts. And you, for every short, okay? I'll share this with you real short. Thank you for all your kind words, Sean. But I met a man who was 65 years old at MDC Holding. He was a mechanic, and he opened a backyard mechanics business after he retired from Ford of 30-some years. He was fixing cars part-time in his backyard, licensed business, the whole schmear. He fixed this dude's car, and the guy didn't like the repair work. He brought it back, and the guy didn't care for the repair work again. He brought it back, and the guy said, well, I can't fix it. He says, it takes more than me. Let's take it down to the Ford garage and have them take a look. And he says, I'll help you pay for it. So the Ford garage fixed it. It was more technical than he could handle. He didn't have the equipment for it. The guy paid half the bill. The client turned around and said, I'm not paying. Ford garage demanded payment, so he paid for the whole thing. So the guy turned around and he filed a mechanic's lien against the man. That's his right, his legal right. 6 months later, he was being escorted from his home by U.S. federal marshals, and he was facing charges of terroristic threatening of a federal officer.
Wow.
The guy that he filed the lien against was an IRS agent.
Wow.
The guy who prepares tax. Okay, they are federal officers.
Yeah, they are.
And because he filed the lien, they considered that as leverage to get the guy to make the payment. So that was a terrorist move. He did 5 years. The system is flawed.
Yeah.
Don't listen to these high school jailhouse attorneys who point out all this thing about Man's Act and all this. It's a crock of crap. You're going to go to prison. cut the best deal you can. Save the money for your family or yourself while in jail. Do your time with dignity, honesty, and consistency. Make a plan. Work on that plan every day. Try to get drug treatment assistance and alcohol abuse assistance by RDAP. Live by those rules. Live by their rules until your allotted time of supervised release is up, and then pursue your life with 100% gusto and make it happen. But build all the way through that so that you have a plan, a way to escape all of this and live your life as a free man again, because you're never going to vote again unless California goes completely liberal like the other states and say felons can vote.
Oh, I got
you're never
to
going to
vote.
be equal, but you can damn sure be sure.
Yeah.
You got to vote?
Yeah, it's legal. Even if you're in the halfway
How'd
house,
you
you can
vote?
vote. I got my voter registration card. I went online, and felons can vote. You just can't be locked up in the. You can't be locked up in a prison. But here's my voter registration card, and it's legal. And
I'll be damned.
my probation officer knows about it. He said, "Yeah, in California we can vote once you're out of prison." So
See, now my halfway house told us we had no right to vote, and they wouldn't allow it. So halfway house is not there to help you.
go look it up on
the last opportunity.
Yeah, look it
I
up
will,
on the
Sean. I'll check it out. Hey,
California voter the voter registration office. It's all there for felons. State people that went to state prisons, they got to wait a year after they get out off parole. But federal, we can vote. So once we're out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to register as soon as I can. But halfway house, by the way, guys, halfway house is not there to help. They're there to make you take the final degrading step and make you push to get whatever you need. So you might get 6 months of halfway house, 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, who knows? Just live through it. Make sure that you have as much of your stationary material done as possible, like driver's license, social security card, a place to be released to. If you don't have a place to be released to, you're not leaving halfway house. And then they'll find a place for you, and that'll be some weird place you don't want to go. So try to pool your friends together. Try to pool your family together. Try to get all of your normal documentation done, because you don't have a driver's license or social security card, you're not going to work. If you can't go to work, you're not leaving the halfway house.
That's right. Yeah.
You're going to end up being in the ward of some institution that's set up like a shelter. So, we're pretty lucky, Sean and I, we were able to push through. But Sean, you're a good guy. I think what you're doing for people is a marvelous thing. I wish you nothing but the best. I hope I haven't taken too much of your time.
Never.
And again, that young man who's thinking about going to Mexico, turn your happy ass around, boy. You ain't going nowhere that they're not going to slam you for more time.
And I know he's going to watch.
Don't be stupid.
I know he's watching this because he told me he watches every video I make, so he'll be watching this. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are.
I hope he does.
He's over there in Texas, so.
Well, I don't wear this for the piss of it.
There you go.
Straighten up, boy.
Well, Chris, yeah,
All right, Sean, thank you so very much.
You said just a bountiful amount of information there for people. I really appreciate it. All good stuff, words of wisdom. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Maybe you're watching this after Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year's, and stay safe out there. God bless you, Chris.
Thank you, Sean. You as well. Happy, merry. Enjoy yourself. Eat a lot. Make yourself miserable.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you soon.